Here are 3 insights of what God does with pain. This is how God uses pain. Number 1 is this: pain protects. God uses pain in our life, in your life, to protect us. Now, I preached on this a couple weeks ago, but I'll read it again. 2 Corinthians 12, verse 7. Therefore, Paul just said, I saw the third heaven. I saw Jesus in a vision. But to keep me from becoming exalted in myself, a thorn in the flesh was given to me. Now, we learned this from the sermon. Who gave God the thorn in the flesh? God did. God sent the pain. A messenger of Satan to torment me so that I would not exalt myself. Here's what Paul's saying. God sent pain to prevent pride. And I think he does the same for us. Don't miss this. Pain from God is never meant to punish, but it's always there for a purpose. I was studying recently about pain, and I didn't know this, and Candy, I didn't tell her this before, but right outside where she was born and raised, there's a town called Carville, Louisiana. Carville, Louisiana is the home, years ago, of Dr. Paul Brand, who was the leading doctor that specialized in treating people with leprosy, or Hansen's disease, as it was called. He was a son that was raised on the mission field by missionary parents in India. When he came back to the States, he wanted to be a doctor, and he wanted to minister to people who no one wanted to minister to. He wanted to reach those who were overlooked and looked over. And so he gave his life to ministering to those with leprosy. He even took an old sugarcane factory that was dilapidated and old, and he turned it around into a hospital. He passed away in 2003, but before he died, he came across arguably one of the greatest discoveries in treating leprosy. Here's what he found. He found that the root cause, don't miss this, the root cause of leprosy was not rotting tissue, the root cause of the rotting tissue was not the leprosy itself. It was actually the loss of the sensation of pain. So it wasn't the leprosy that caused him to eventually die and lose limb. It was the loss of the sensation of pain. Now, you know this. When you lose pain, you lose the ability to feel in order to retract if you're hurting. For example, if you break your leg, let's say in an accident, or break an ankle, the pain prevents you from putting more weight to prevent you from further damage. Does that make sense? The same thing goes with your hand. If you go to a stove and you put your hand on the stove, would cause you to pull it away as if it's hot, you feel the sensation in your hand. But someone with leprosy doesn't have sensation, so the pain stays and it causes further damage. Here's his line: accidental self-abuse destroyed their bodies. Let me say that again. Accidental self-abuse destroyed their bodies. To which Dr. Brand summarized, thank God for inventing pain. Here's what that means for you. Did you know that pain is God's brake pad for preventing further problems in life? You ever thought about that? Pain is it causes us to stop, right? Pain is meant to protect us in life, not to hurt us. Did you ever think about this for a moment? Did you ever think that your present pain may be protecting you from future problems? That God loves you so much that he says, no, I want to send this pain to protect you from something further down the road.